KC, where we are on the eve of Country Box 29, where music meets boxing. I'm Marc Abrams, and I'm joined at the beginning of our show tonight with the promoter of Country Box, Jimmy Adams Promotion, and the former heavyweight champion of the world, Oliver McCall, who takes on Gary Cobia in the co-feature bout tomorrow night. Jimmy, first of all, Happy New Year, first one of the year.
Same to you, Mark.
And get ready for the first one of the year. We kind of went dark a little bit in January just to regroup, and now here we are, February the 3rd, now February the 4th for the first fight.
Yeah, we're ready to rock it.
It's a very interesting card. Our main event, for my money, could be the best fight that we've had on paper between undefeated Midel Sando, 15-0, 9 knockouts, taking on the very tested one-time major prospect. Actually, your good friend Don King had him a long time ago.
Right.
Right around the time when Oliver was probably fighting with Don King. Vaughn Alexander, a guy who's fought everybody in the 160, now the 168-pound division.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. It's a good test for Midel. Of course, Alexander, he's been in about everybody, and it's just going to be a great fight.
And everyone he's kind of like a real litmus test for Midel Sando, as everyone who defeats Vaughn Alexander, he usually goes a distance with him, and he gives him heck for, in this case, it'll be 8 rounds. But those fighters usually go on to something much bigger and better. Is that the way you're looking at this for Midel? He's in his mid-30s, so maybe it's time, with a win tomorrow night, maybe something bigger, time for him to really move. Yeah,
well, it's time for Midel. I mean, he's 35. Clock ticks on him. This is a good test for him. It's a good test to go up to a different level. And it's only going to get better and better as far as Midel. I mean, it's time for him to go and see what he can become the top 10 to the championship. And so this is definitely a good start for him to take that next level. It's going to be one heck of a fight.
Oliver, we'll get to your fight in a minute, but you've kind of been on both sides of that fence. You've been the guy trying to get over that gatekeeper, and I'm not using the word gatekeeper as a negative thing, because those guys are very important. You've been that gatekeeper. You've been that guy that someone has to beat to maybe get to a championship level. For Midel Sando, we'll just take both ends of the fence here. For Midel Sando, this is a real test for him, a real tough veteran. What's he thinking, on the eve of the fight as we go into the fight tomorrow night?
Well, I'm pretty sure he want to be accurate and precise in his decision making. Him fighting a veteran like he's fighting, and he want to step out in that next round. He don't want to just be that up and coming fighter, undefeated and keep winning and winning. You want to win against somebody that won against somebody that won against somebody. So I think you should do good. I really think you should do good.
Is it tough, and it tough in, this case, the fighter's case, a guy like Midel, Jimmy just said, who's his promoter, with a win, it's going to be something. It's going to be something bigger and better for Midel should he win. Is it tough to, not look past what he's got in front of him tomorrow night?
Oh, well, that's the thing. You don't want to look past no one. You want to just be ready for your best fight and put on your best performance when it actually take place. But in looking forward, to the fight to come, you want to just be where you know that you got your skills together. Regardless of him, you got your skills together, and you could put on a show.
And let's take Alexander. He's the guy. He's the battle-tested war. He's been to war. He's a veteran, real tough guy. You got this undefeated guy in Sando who's trying to leap over you to gatekeeper, whatever you want to call it, to get to that next level. You've been on that side too. You fight undefeated and guys to try to get to where you've been.
And when you're there, you're a very dangerous fighter. I think this is more of a dangerous fight for Santos. Yeah, I think it's a more dangerous fight.
And I understand, Jimmy, you have a co-feature bout tomorrow night where you have a 59-year-old former heavyweight champion of the world. You want to talk about that fight?
Well, I guess you have to say I'm partial to that. Me and Oliver's got a lot of history together, and of course, we're not at 59. We're definitely not looking for this to be a long-term thing. We're just looking just to make a statement and get a point. together. You know that Oliver can still do it. What everybody's trying to do, Oliver has done. I mean, he broke the record of Mike Tyson, and then tomorrow night he breaks his own records. I think Oliver's goal, and we've discussed is, this year he'll be 60, and this is his last year of boxing. So we're looking, to fight maybe somebody of his age. He's not looking. We're not out here looking to fight a young buck, for 27 years old. And we understand Father Time how it works, and so, but we love to fight somebody from Shannon Briggs to Lennox Lewis again, even Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
I think fighting Tyson would be a great fight for Oliver because they started young together. I mean, from the beginning, and
A lot of history
there, and then they end the history together. I think it'd be a heck of a fight, and it'd be a fight that I think the people like to see because Oliver's the first man to knock him down, and Oliver has never been knocked down in sparring and nothing else. I think it'd be interesting. Can Mike Tyson knock him down? Can he be the first one to knock Oliver down? I think it's just a lot of chemistry there, but what's happening, we want to keep inside the boundaries of safety. We want it to be a real fight. We want it to be a 3-round, so forth. I mean, a 3-minute fight and stuff, We're not looking for 14-ounce gloves and all of that. We're looking to be a real fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. But like I say, we're looking. If it don't happen, then he's still going to retire. I mean, this is his last year of fighting. So I mean, so it's not like you say we're here trying to do something to build a 20-year career.
Mm-hmm.
And the first fight he had back with Stacy Frazier, he did what he had to do in there. He got Frazier out of there in the second round, right?
Yes,
second round.
Second round.
And do you feel that, I'll address this to both of you guys, I guess Oliver first, do you feel you have to do something more, maybe a more explosive knockout to try to at least generate the interest on your end that may, like you said, maybe drop the little seeds for Lennox or one of these other guys to say, you know what, maybe we can make some money and have some fun and, show the fans one more time what we accomplished back 20, 30 years ago?
Well, that's what I want to do. Definitely with, I would say, the 26. It was 26 heavyweights that we had a 26th anniversary. We had an anniversary for a heavyweight, former heavyweight champions in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it was 26 heavyweight champions that was there together. Mike Tyson was there, of course, along with 25 other former heavyweight champions. And as we talked amongst each other, we brought up some things amongst each other, and I'm trying to fulfill some of the things that we talked about. And I'm pretty sure when this get across to some of the heavyweight champions that was there that know what I'm talking about now, they can concur with what I'm talking about. So I'm here to spear and head front that for the former heavyweight champions. Some of them, they just can't, they don't have the ability to really do and to compete. Those guys, we going to compensate off what they done and off what we know they done for the world as far as being a former heavyweight champion. So I really want to spearhead that and bringing an organization together to where the former heavyweight champions that still can fight, there's some that can, there's some that can't, and we'll take what we take and perform for some of our fans over the time that we was champions. And I'm pretty sure there's some out there that all the other former heavyweight champions have shared, and we can share some of this to those that make it to that point.
Jimmy, what are you looking for? Anything specifically you need to see out of Oliver? I know you see him in the gym almost every day, but in the fight specifically, for you to start maybe making those calls, whether it's Wednesday or next week, trying to reach out to the Shannon Briggses or some of these other former champions that still may want to jump in the ring with Oliver McCall.
Well, I'm not really reaching out to anybody because they are reaching out to myself.
Okay.
It shows like yours, that shows like coming on yours. We're talking. When we discuss what we want to do, I mean, the door is open. We're interested in listening from anybody, from Michael Moore to, I heard David Tua wants to come back out and fight. Bruce Seldon wants to do an anniversary from their fight 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hear so much and get so much, but the door is wide open. We'll listen to anybody. We'll listen to anybody, and then we'll make a decision. And it's like I say, it's like we're having fun doing it because it's just here. I mean, we have been together so many years, but we've having more fun together this time than we did in the prime. I mean, you know, we respect each other. We take and if all of us to say right now, sitting right here, hey, I don't want to fight no more. Okay, we don't fight no more. So it's not a must. It's just something that we want to see how far it would go. And like I said, we did put a deadline on this year's we end this year at 6.
The end of the year.
The end of the year, it's over with. And so, and at the end of the year, we would like to see if we could get a Tyson or get a Holyfield. I mean, like shows like this, we just telling everybody, hey, Oliver's ready. And so we're not really trying to just point names here and there, but Oliver's ready.
Right.
You're in with a gentleman by the name of, and I call him gentleman, it's actually his nickname, Gary Kobe. I saw you guys talking, you know, he's a very, very nice guy. In fact, I just spoke to him getting ready for our call tomorrow night, and I asked him, you know, did you ever think he'd be fighting a guy? You know, he's just a nice chap from Utah. He said he was a fan of yours, you know, when he was, you know, when you were doing your thing against Lennox and all the other top heavyweights. So he was a fan, and you know, I asked him, when does that fandom stop? He says, as soon as I walk up those stairs, he's not your fan anymore.
Okay. Well, that's how it usually be. You know, I've been into different situations where I fought best friends, I fought friends that I've sparred with and had to do a real fight with, and had to really, it was kind of hard putting that aside because I've been knowing them for such a long time, and we came up in the same camp. So I know how to deal with different emotions and things like that. This guy that I'm about to fight is very special as far as some of the guys that I've fought in my boxing career. I hear, if I'm not mistaken, he's a police officer, 20 years, and I respect all these things. My first trainer was a police officer, Chicago police officer, Phil Burton, and I could see Phil Burton right now, you know, and this guy was an awesome guy, man, and his family members was police officers and whatnot. So by that, it's just making this more exciting for me. So I want to box. I really want to put a nice boxing lesson. This ain't about power. So I'm letting you know now. I really want to show some other skills that I still have that I can show to some of my fans and some of the fans of boxing.
Well, the first fight against Frazier, like you said, you're not looking to tomorrow, not necessarily going in there to try to get him out of there quick. The Frazier fight, was that a different story?
Oh, yes, that was a whole different story. The Frazier fight was serious because of, I mean, he had 40-something fights or whatnot, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had all knockouts. So this guy can punch. He's known as a puncher. So I decided to go in there and let the people see that I can punch against a puncher. And I thought
that's always the last thing to go, right? Is a punch.
Yeah. But now this gonna be very interesting because y'all gonna see a different part of my boxing skill set as far as what made me not get knocked down or knocked out in 40 years, going on 40 years as a professional fighter. So that's what I want to display.
I mean, you wouldn't mind going 6 rounds tomorrow night? I
really won't mind going 6 rounds.
Is that something that?
But I want to win every round.
But is that something that if it does go the full 6 rounds, you could tell them, hey, I'm 59, but I can still go a little bit of a distance.
If it goes 6 rounds, I'm gonna say look at the fight very carefully, and you will notice I won about at least 5 out of the 6. That means when I did lose a round. Off me lose that round, you could look at what I done after the rounds where you say, "Oh yeah, Oliver ready." So those are some things that people want to see. You know, I mean, boxing generalship. I like Terrence Crawford. You know, I know how to box southpaw now. So my boxing has evolved. My boxing has evolved on things that I never boxed in a real boxing match that I can actually do now in this type of fight.
So just run down really the rest of the card right now. This series, obviously, we're at 29 now. We talked about Sando and Alexander, Jimmy. The type of people that's attracting, Vaughn Alexander in his corner is Montel Griffin, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, U.S. Olympian, as a win over Roy Jones. So, he's here. We have an undefeated fighter from the Washington, D.C. area named Damari Philbin, who's trained by Calvin Ford, who just happens to be the lead trainer for maybe the most, probably the funnest fighter to watch in the world, Gervonta Tank Davis. So, I mean, you got guys like that. And, a slew of undefeated fighters as well. Got a couple more heavyweights. Conja Nathan at 294 pounds today, taking on DeMonte Cherry. So, like I said, we said that the fight between Sando and Alexander, maybe the best fight on paper we've had. A lot of good mixing. So we got that. We got Oliver. We got some good young prospects.
Yeah, we got a lot of fighters coming in. Like we've got, coming up again. We got Fernando Cruz coming back to next show, and we got Hermes Orta, undefeated Cuban fighters. And we got Molina. I mean, we got some good fighters and we have some good fighters coming. My hope is, like I say, continue to grow fighters, to grow music artists. I'm just looking for everything just to grow. And tomorrow night, I'm excited about Oliver. If Oliver goes in, it's important to see, can he do 6 rounds? I mean, how is he going to outcome? Mm-hmm. But if he don't have to do 6 rounds, and gets a night, he got to end it. So so Oliver's going in the ring knowing what he's got to do. So but like I say, he met Gary today for the first time. And he came over to me and he said, I really like this. This dude is nice. And I said, yeah. I said, but when you get in the ring, he said, I won't like him then.
you mentioned about fighting your friends. There was a famous fight, and I don't know, it was right around the time when you were fighting with Don King and everything. Maurice Blocker and Simon Brown. In each other's wedding, and if you recall, Blocker knocked out Brown, and Brown was on the canvas punching. He was punching, so that put the myth away about fighting friends. I mean, when the bell rings, if you don't mind me asking, you said you fought some of your close friends. Who were they back in the day?
Well, it was definitely Jesse Ferguson, first of all, and you know something, just to be truthful about it, I never seen Jesse Ferguson after that.
Oh wow. You won the fight, right?
No. Oh, yeah, I won the fight. It was right after I knocked out Bruce Seldom. I knocked out Bruce Seldom in 1991. Then I fought Jesse Ferguson. Yeah, I fought Jesse Ferguson. Bruce Seldom fought Riddick Bowe. I should have got that fight, but it that's just boxing how it is.
Jesse, if you're out here, if you're watching this,
God bless you, Jesse Ferguson. You're a good friend.
Hold on. Shoot me a direct message. Give me your number. You and Oliver need to reconnect after 33 years.
I haven't seen him since that was 1992. I think it was 1992 because it was right after I fought him.
Oliver needs his friend back, so shoot me a message.
So sometime the fight after the fight. I wouldn't say the friendship ended, but I guess we went and done. He's still my friend. I think he was my friend when he left.
I'll tell you what.
I'll be my friend when he come back.
I'll tell you what. If anyone's watching this and can get in touch with Jesse
Ferguson.
Jesse, send me a direct message.
Boogeyman.
I'll hook you and Oliver up, and I will pay for the meal.
Listen, even though he was my friend, he was the Boogeyman.
Yes.
So of course, I know his nickname, Jesse the Boogeyman.
I will pay for the meal. Just Oliver needs. You could say he's a little heartbroken still after 30-something years. He wants his friend back.
And I look at him as a friend, for real. And I became heavyweight champion. I haven't talked to him or seen him since the yeah.
So before I let you guys go, something that came over the internet, moments before we went on air. There's a very hot rumor going around that Canelo Alvarez may fight Jake Paul in May. I mean, what are both your thoughts on that?
Oh, that'd be awesome because I definitely want, because I'm a Canelo fan. And I want Canelo to do what I've been wanting to do for what he done to Nate Robinson on the basketball. Oh. So with that right there, I don't even want to fight Jake Paul. I'm glad he ain't fighting heavyweight, although he him and Tyson, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But I think that if he do that with Jake Paul, I think that would be sensible. He don't have to take no steroids or whatever he had to do to get up to that weight to do what he done with Tyson, and it could be more legit, and he could get his butt busted, his head twisted. By Canelo.
So it sounds like you're not You're not in favor of these guys coming into boxing who didn't put the time and effort in as you did as an amateur, as a kid, and all that stuff.
Exactly. I was looking at President Donald Trump was about today, him going to Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fight. If I'm not mistaken, I think his mom or dad took him, and as he was explaining about that fight, that Pacific fight, the first fight, and when they fought that first fight, how there was no other type of fighting, UFC and MMA and this and that. It was boxing. I mean, and that was the golden time of year back then, those days. And that just let me know that now we don't need all that now.
See,
Come on now.
Oliver's talking as a fighter. Now, you as a promoter, I think you probably have a different spin on this thing, don't you? You probably see and smell dollar signs.
Yeah,
that.
I see dollar signs, but I still like the art of boxing, though.
It ain't nothing like boxing.
Yeah, I like the art of boxing. I don't like, I do give Jake Paul credibility of what he's done marketing-wise to make money, but what he's selling is not real. I would have to say here and think with Canelo and Jake Paul, it would be real. Canelo's not going to take no dive.
He's a real. I mean,
that's going to be a real fight. So it would be interesting because you then Jake Paul would get the opportunity to prove can he really fight because he will have to fight Canelo.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've met Canelo a few times, interview him. He's a serious dude. I don't think he
is serious. Yeah. Yeah, he's serious.
And I know the other night you guys, I know Jimmy told me you did. You guys, there was a terrific fight on from Las Vegas between Benavidez and Morella.
It was a good fight.
Benavidez, I think he's a star. I think
he is a star. You know what? Benavidez was a star before he became a star, though. You know, from my perception, when I seen him as a young man coming up before he won his first title, I could see star in him. He was just overwhelming with the competition.
The thing I noticed about me, I've seen every one of his fights. The thing I've noticed about him, the one issue I have with him is actually a great thing for fans. He throws everything hard. Everything hard.
He's an action fighter, no question about that.
I like that, though, when you're able to throw everything hard and when the fight get going. See, that's when the fight come out you.
And I think Morella's got great potential. I mean, I just think that he fought him too early. I mean, he's just 11-0.
Yeah.
I think he needed a little bit more experience with guys, with better guys before he went.
He fought him too soon.
I know.
Yeah, he fought him too soon. Yeah. No different what Canelo did with Floyd Mayweather.
That's right.
If you don't mind me asking, Jimmy, I know you have a camp full of Cuban fighters. Did you watch the fight with them? And
actually, I sure did.
Yeah,
they went crazy too. Every time Morella done good.
They was bugging me on that one.
Yeah, they went crazy. Yeah. It was fun. Yeah.
It must be fun to actually watch one of those type of fights at your place because, like you said, all your fighters live there, and you have Oliver, the former heavyweight champion of the world, live there. So I can only imagine the X and O talk going on there. You should be doing this. And,
we had some fun last night. I'm gonna tell you, it was fun. It was fun.
You got Nettles there that gets crazy, you know.
Oh, he let him watch in the other room.
He actually brought out the fun, though, in a crazy way. Nettles usually bring out the fun in a crazy way.
If I was running that thing, Nettles would be in the other room. So.
Yeah. Sometimes he do get on your nerves, but he actually helps me in the, I don't know, I guess in a psychotic way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say I've known Nettles I've known Nettles, and we're talking about Nettles Nasser, who's one of the trainers down here. He was brought up in the gyms in New Jersey and New York. So I mean, and you guys know about that. When you're brought up there, it's
and he have a lot of stories to tell.
Yeah.
Well, people look at me really strange when I said, you know, Nettles, when I talk about Nettles, I say he reminds me so much of Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And they all go like, what do you mean? I say, either you love him or you hate him.
Yeah, Nettles is
back
that type.
in the day, Muhammad Ali, you loved and hated him. You know, there was no in between.
So I mean, so you're talking here. You got Jimmy and his beautiful family in the house. You got 5 or 6 Cuban fighters. You got Oliver, and you have Nettles.
And you got 8 standard poodles.
And
every time somebody gets loud, the dogs be barking louder than the people are yelling. You know, so it's and then you got my wife Ashley.
Well, I said your beautiful family,
which is loud and she says happy.
Yeah, it's the Addams family for real. Yeah, it's the Addams family in a different way. For real.
E Network. DM me as well. I think I have an idea for you. Or Bravo. I think I have an idea for you. Before we let you go, would each just put a cap on tomorrow night, Oliver, about your thought about your fight? Just give me a final word on it.
Well, my fight, like I said, I just want my fans and my fans to be, because I think I'm gonna get some new fans off this fight.
Amazing. 40 years in, you're still getting new fans.
Yeah, I actually think I'm going to get some new fans off this fight here, because the way I'm going to perform, just some of the things that I know I can do that I don't think they have seen yet. And so I'm going to do something a little different as far as, some things I've learned over the years that I've been able to express.
So we have a great main event. We're going to see the new and improved at age 59, Oliver McCall. Jimmy, put a bow on this night. Tomorrow night, what we're going to see on USA Today Sports, CountryBox247.com, iTube247.com, CountryBox on YouTube, Triller TV, a couple other YouTube pages. There's no way you can miss this fight. Jimmy, put a cap on it.
It's going to be a great show tomorrow night. Madell Sanders, like I say, it's a big challenge for him. It's a big step up.
Definitely.
And that's going to be one heck of a fight. And and Madell's not coming in the ring to lose his O, and Vaughn is coming in the ring to take that O. Because they both need. Madell needs this with Vaughn, and Vaughn needs this with Madell for him to continue.
Well,
and of course, Oliver makes history again tomorrow night when he steps in the ring and beats his own record as the oldest former heavyweight champion to still be active in fighting, in the pro fight. So
what a wonderful 8-bout card, plus the music of
Christy Dudley.
Tell us a little bit about her.
Very high energy. She's a very high energy girl. She'd be all over the stage. It's gonna be a great night of entertainment. Then of course, we got Albert Hainsworth's going to be here commentating along with yourself, and I mean, it's just really a family, lot of fun.
Albert's going to be busted. Well, he's not going to be busted on me. He's going to be, probably give me, because my Eagles are in the Super Bowl. So, I want to pick his brain to see if we have a chance on Sunday. He'll
pick your brains for that, for real.
Says there you have it. Jimmy Adams, the promoter of Country Box 29. Oliver McCall, the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, will be back in action, taking on Gary Kobe as the co-feature bout. Madell Sando, Vaughn Alexander in our main event. We'll be back with a little bit more just after this. On the eve of Country Box 29, I'm at Marc Abrams. I'm here at the Troubadour in Nashville, Tennessee, where just had a terrific sit-down interview with Jimmy Adams, the promoter of Jimmy Adams Promotions. Oliver McCall, the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world. So I'll run over the card real quickly, and I actually have a couple basketball picks for you I'll give out. Just for amusement only. As we mentioned, the main event tomorrow, 15-0, 9 knockouts. Madell Sando taking on Vaughn Alexander, 19-12-1, 12 knockouts. Going to be a terrific fight. Oliver McCall, who's just sitting there with us, the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, 60-14. Looking for knockout number 40, although he told me he's not actively seeking it. We'll see that once the bell rings. Take on the gentleman, Gary Kobe, 3-4, 1 knockout. Jabril Diakite, 8-0, 6 KOs. He's going to take on Jeremiah Robinson, 7-4, 7 knockouts. Then we'll have Damari Filson kicking off the evening, 3-0, 3 knockouts. He of the Gervonta Tank Davis camp, going to take on the veteran Marlon Lewis, 6-15 and 2. Also, we'll have Giovanni Figueroa, 4-1, 4 knockouts, take on the pro debuting Rashad Hooks of Delwood, Missouri. Kanja Nathan, the big, almost 300-pounder, 1-0 out of Yonkers, New York. He will take on DeMonte Cherry, who's had 15 professional fights. Every one of his fights has ended in knockout, one way or the other. Usually it's one way. Ryan Diaz, 1-0, 1 knockout, take on Raquan Ashby, who's 0-8-1, looking for his first professional win. And Devin Parrish, out just outside Chicago, got the legendary Chicago trainer George Hernandez, 4-0, 4 knockouts. He's going to take on Corey Williams. Just have a couple, give you a couple picks tonight while I'm at it. Let me see here. It's coming up here. We like the San Antonio Spurs getting 6 points tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. I also like the Oklahoma City Thunder laying 9 against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's probably the game of the night. Also, Iowa State plus 2.5 against Kansas, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about what went down over the weekend. So as we were talking about mentioning that David Morrell fight on Saturday night. So after I got done watching the press conference for the Morrell fight, doing all the post-fight wrap-ups on my website and so forth, theboxinghour.com, 15rounds.com. I go down, I look on my phone, I see about this basketball trade, and it said Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. And I really had to look at my phone about 6 times to make sure what I was reading was true. Quickly switched on ESPN, and by darn it, the biggest trade in NBA history, the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers pulled off on Saturday night with Doncic going to the Lakers, Anthony Davis going to the Dallas Mavericks. And I thought, what the heck are the Mavericks doing? But if you kind of get inside it and to tear it open, it doesn't make sense, but I sort of understand what they're doing. Obviously, no one knows what's going on in someone's home. And in this case, the home of the Dallas Mavericks. They weren't in love with Luka Doncic, just plain and simple. They obviously, he's one of the top. I think he's the most talented player in the National Basketball Association. But no one knows what's going on. He's a guy who we see on the outward whines a lot about calls. He's been hurt a lot. You know, they're saying about Anthony Davis being hurt. This guy, he's played 20 games this year, Luka Doncic, and I think they were just growing tired of it. And after next season, the Dallas Mavericks would be on the hook to give Luka Doncic 5 years at almost $70 million a year. They weren't prepared to do it to a guy who's constantly hurt, who they're saying is out of shape. I mean, I don't run those tests with Luka Doncic, so I don't know what kind of shape in terms of NBA shape that he is. So they feel with Kyrie Irving, getting an Anthony Davis, some of the pieces they had, P.J. Washington, some of the other athletic centers they have, Daniel Gafford and Jason Lively, who's really come on in his second year at Duke. They feel they can win this year if Anthony Davis stays healthy. They get Kyrie Irving back, he stays healthy, and they feel for maybe the next 1 or 2 years they can maybe do something. 10 years from now, the Lakers are going to make out like a band on this trade because they just got a 25-year-old player who just led his team to the finals, who I believe is the most talented player in the NBA. LeBron James may play next year. Who knows, whatever. And then the LA Lakers become the team of Luka Doncic. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I want to thank Jimmy Adams and Oliver McCall for joining us here at the Troubadour Nashville, where about 24 hours from now, we'll be getting ready to lace them up. Big night, 8-fight card. Country Box 29, headlined by Midel Sando, taking on Vaughn Alexander, as well as Oliver McCall, taking on Gary Cobia. I want to thank John Musianis, Christy Denbrock, the whole team here at Country Box and Jimmy Adams Promotions. We hope to see you tomorrow night on Country Box 29.